Why do we think of unicorns? Many strange beasts fill our old stories. Dragons breathe fire, griffins have eagle wings and lion bodies, yet the unicorn often seems the wildest of them all. It is a horse with a single spiraling horn on its forehead. This simple idea has captured human imagination for centuries. It is more than just a horned horse. It is a symbol. It stands for things we cannot easily grasp. Its story is long and full of surprises. This creature is truly unique in the world of myths. What makes the unicorn so special? Perhaps it is the mix of ideas it holds. It is often seen as fierce and untamable, wild and dangerous. It could not be caught easily. Yet it is also a symbol of purity and grace. This contrast is very powerful. How can something be so wild and so pure at the same time? The horn itself is said to have magical powers. It could heal the sick, it could make poisoned water safe to drink. These ideas make the unicorn a creature of wonder and deep mystery, setting it apart from other beasts. The story of the unicorn begins long ago. It did not start as the gentle white horse we know today. Early accounts came from ancient Greece. A writer named Ctesias in the 5th century BC wrote about India. He described wild asses. These animals were said to be very fast and strong. They had a single horn on their foreheads. This horn was not white, but colored. It was red at the tip, black in the middle, and white at the base. Drinking from this horn was said to protect from poison. These were not gentle creatures. They were powerful and hard to capture. Roman writers also talked about similar animals. Pliny the Elder, a famous naturalist, wrote in the 1st century AD. He described thee, which means one horn. This creature had the body of a horse. It had the head of a stag, the feet of an elephant, and the tail of a boar. And of course it had a single black horn, about 2 cubits long, in the middle of its forehead. Pliny said it made a deep bellowing sound. He also noted it was impossible to capture alive. These early descriptions painted a picture of a formidable rather than a graceful beast. We can also find unicorn-like creatures in Persian traditions. How did these different ancient stories begin to merge into one image? The unicorn we picture today is mostly a European creation. Travelers' tales played a big part. People heard stories of strange, horned animals from faraway lands. Sometimes these stories were about real animals like the rhinoceros or the oryx antelope. But as the stories were retold, they changed. Details were added or misunderstood. Mistranslations of ancient texts also contributed. For example, the Hebrew word, likely referring to a wild ox, was sometimes translated as unicorn in early versions of the Bible, a very important text called the helped shape the unicorn myth. This was an early Christian text, written in Greek, probably in Alexandria around the 2nd to 4th century AD. It described animals, both real and mythical, and gave them symbolic Christian meanings. It described the unicorn as a small but fierce creature. It said the unicorn could only be captured by a pure virgin. Hunters would lead a maiden to the unicorn's lair. The unicorn, seeing her purity, would lay its head in her lap and fall asleep. The belief in the magical powers of the unicorn's horn was very strong. This horn, often called an alicorn, was highly prized. People believed it could detect and neutralize poisons. If you dipped an alicorn into a poisoned drink, it was said to sweat or change color. It was also thought to cure many illnesses like epilepsy, fever, and plague. Kings, queens, nobles, and wealthy merchants desperately wanted to own one. They believed it would protect them from assassination by poisoning, a common fear in those times. This demand created a thriving, albeit often deceptive, market. Because real unicorns did not exist, what was sold as alicorn. Clever traders found substitutes. The most common source was the tusk of the narwhal. The narwhal is a whale found in Arctic waters. The male narwhal has a long, single, spiraling tusk that looks very much like the classic unicorn horn. These tusks were brought south by Viking traders and sold for enormous sums of money. Other items were also passed off as alicorn. These included the horns of oryx antelopes, fossilized bones, and even manufactured fakes. Section 5, Sacred and Pure, the Unicorn in Medieval Faith. During the Middle Ages, the unicorn gained deep religious significance, especially within Christianity. The story where the unicorn is tamed by a virgin became a powerful allegory. The unicorn itself came to represent Jesus Christ. Like Christ, the unicorn was seen as unique and powerful. Its horns symbolized the unity of God the Father and Son, or the cross itself. The idea that it could only be captured through a pure maiden was interpreted as Christ being born of the Virgin Mary. This made the unicorn a potent symbol of the Incarnation. The Virgin Mary was often associated with the unicorn. The hunt of the unicorn became a popular theme in religious art and literature. This hunt was not just a story about capturing an animal. Section 6. Artistic Wonders. Unicorns in Medieval Art and Stories. Medieval art is rich with depictions of unicorns. They appear in many forms, from sculptures and carvings to paintings and illuminated manuscripts. However, perhaps the most famous examples are the magnificent tapestries. Two sets are particularly well known: The Hunt of the Unicorn series, now in the cloisters in New York, and The Lady and the Unicorn series, housed in the Musée de Cluny in Paris. These large, intricate weavings are masterpieces of medieval art. They tell complex stories using vivid imagery and rich symbolism, with the unicorn at the very center of the narrative. The symbolism within these artworks is incredibly detailed. In The Hunt of the Unicorn, the tapestries depict various stages of a unicorn hunt, culminating in its capture and, in one panel, its resurrection. Section 7. Modern Magic. The unicorn in recent times. After the medieval period, the Age of Enlightenment brought a more scientific and skeptical worldview. Belief in mythical creatures like unicorns began to wane among educated people. Naturalists sought rational explanations for unicorn sightings, often pointing to misidentified animals like the rhinoceros or narwhal. The magical properties of the alicorn were questioned and eventually disproven by scientific experiment. For a time, the unicorn seemed to fade from popular imagination, relegated to the realm of old superstitions and outdated beliefs. It lost some of its immediate symbolic power as science offered new ways to understand the world. However, the unicorn did not disappear entirely. The Romantic movement in the late 18th and 19th centuries saw a renewed interest in folklore, myth, and the supernatural. Unicorns began to reappear in literature and art, often in a more whimsical and fantastical light. They were less about religious allegory and more about enchantment and the beauty of the untamed natural world. Writers and artists embraced the unicorn as a symbol of imagination, an escape from the increasingly industrialized world. This period helped to keep the image of the unicorn alive, transforming it for a new era. In the 20th and especially the 21st century, the unicorn has experienced a massive resurgence in popular culture. Today's unicorn is often very different from its historical counterparts. Section 8. More than a myth, the unicorn's enduring impact. Why has the unicorn remained so popular for so long? One reason is its incredible adaptability. Over centuries, the unicorn has been many things to many people. It started as a fierce, exotic beast in ancient tales. It became a profound religious symbol in the Middle Ages. In modern times, it has transformed into a figure of gentle magic and sparkling joy. This ability to change its meaning and appearance while retaining its core identity as a horned horse allows it to resonate with different cultures and generations. It can be whatever we need it to be. There is also a deep psychological appeal to the unicorn. It often represents the unattainable, the pure and the magical in a world that can sometimes feel ordinary. The unicorn embodies hope and the possibility of wonders existing just beyond our sight. It taps into a fundamental human desire for magic, for something special and unique. In a complex world, the simplicity of a beautiful, pure creature with healing powers offers a sense of comfort and enchantment. It speaks to our inner child and our longing for a touch of the extraordinary in our lives. The unicorn continues to play a significant role in modern fantasy literature, films, and games. Section 9. The gallop continues, the unicorn's lasting legacy. The journey of the unicorn through history is truly remarkable. It began as a misunderstood creature, possibly based on real animals seen from afar. Over thousands of years, it transformed. It became a symbol of immense power, purity, and grace. It was hunted, revered, traded, and allegorized. From ancient Greek texts to medieval Christian symbolism, and now to modern pop culture, the unicorn has galloped through human imagination, constantly adapting and taking on new meanings. Its story is a testament to the enduring power of myth and the creativity of the human spirit. The unicorn shows us the incredible power of myth. Here is a creature that, by all scientific accounts, never actually existed in the physical world. Yet it has had a profound and lasting impact on art, literature, religion, commerce, and culture. It has inspired countless works of beauty and devotion. It has fueled trade and exploration. It has provided comfort and wonder. This demonstrates that myths are not just idle stories, they are powerful tools that help us understand ourselves, our world, and our deepest beliefs and desires. And